thing we're going to look at today is why would you want to use a line array speaker? Firstly, let's take a look at a conventional speaker placed in a room that is somewhat reverberant. A room such as this will continue to ring after the sound from the speaker has stopped. This ringing is noise and will fill in those speech gaps we talked about before. Filling these gaps reduces our understanding of the spoken word. Because the conventional speaker has energy expanding as a ball, this energy is scattered to all the surfaces in the room. This non-focused energy is what causes the room to ring. This ringing is actually noise that interferes with the original signal, thus we're interfering with speech intelligibility. Now we're going to look at the line array speaker. These types of speakers have very good vertical control, thus painting the hearing plane with audio. By removing large amounts of energy from the reverberant field, speech intelligibility is increased because we have reduced the reverberant noise that fills in the speech gaps. These types of speakers require careful consideration with placement because of the very focused sound wave. We're now going to look at the SRM mechanically steerable line array from TOA Canada. The mechanically steerable line array speaker system consists of the SR-MF1 and the SR-ML1. The SR-MF1 is the mid-high box or speaker, and the SR-ML1 is the low-frequency box. A single SR-MF1 or a combination system which would include the SR-ML1 can be used. The key feature is that the tilt and dispersion angles of the SR-MF1 are mechanically and manually adjustable. This provides a valuable solution for spaces where the speakers need to aim at downward seating or audience areas while they are mounted perpendicularly to the wall. We're going to look first at the SR-MF1 mid-high speaker. The speaker allows adjustment of the baffle with a vertical angle from 0 to 30 degrees, plus the ability for a downward tilt of -3 degrees. This again allows for precision sonic positioning without the need to physically move the speaker. The power handling on the speaker is 240 watts with a sensitivity of 89 dB at 1 watt 1 meter and a frequency response of 130 to 1.8 K. The speaker components for the SR-MF1 consist of 4 2.8-inch speakers and 8 2-inch drivers. The directivity of the speaker is 100 degrees on the horizontal plane. The vertical, we have a tilt of 0 or -3 degrees, and we can adjust the dispersion to 10, 15, 20, 25, or 30 degrees. The enclosure is manufactured from aluminum, and the front grille is punched steel plate. The SR-ML1 is equipped with 4 3.5-inch drivers, which allows it to achieve a more powerful low-frequency sound. Up to 2 of the SR-ML1s may be stacked together with one SR-MF1. Later on, we'll be showing some optional stacking options. The power handling again on the SR-ML1 is 240 watts. The sensitivity is 84 dB at 1 watt 1 meter, and the frequency response of the SR-ML1 is 60 to 700 hertz. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the components consist of 4 3.5-inch cone-type speakers. The enclosure, just as the SR-MF1, is made of aluminum, and the front grille is punched steel plate. Next, we're going to cover how the dispersion angle on the SR-MF1 is adjusted. When you receive the unit, the first thing you're going to need to do is remove the hex bolts on both sides of the cabinet. This will allow you to release the angle adjustment component. The removed screws can be tossed away. They're only there to protect the unit in shipping. The next thing you're going to want to do is loosen the hex head bolts mounted on the adjustment component with a hex wrench. and shift them into the desired position. Once you've done that, then you'll replace the hex head bolts with the supplied smaller head bolts one by one and tighten them. Once that's done, all you need to do is attach the cover plates with the supplied screws. The first thing you're going to want to do when adjusting the dispersion angle on the SR-MF1 is to select between the two tilt angles, either -3 degrees or 0 degrees. After that, you'll adjust the dispersion angle with the option of 5 steps, 30 degrees down to 10 degrees. Again, the 10 degrees gives you the narrower option, and if you're looking for a wider dispersion angle, you'll to the 30 degrees. This image shows you the difference between the tilt at 0 degrees and at -30 degrees. You can see you're starting at a downward angle already at the -3, which allows you to go a little further down as far as dispersion. These diagrams show you some examples of coverage areas that are covered by the different tilt and dispersion adjustments. Of course, the speaker being a line array speaker, it will radiate sound only within a limited range. So the first image we see on the right-hand side is with the tilt degree set at 0, dispersion at 10 degrees. The second one down, you see again a tilt degree of 0 and a dispersion angle of 30. In the final one, the tilt degree has been set at -3 degrees and a dispersion angle of 30. So you can see between the last two images that you're actually starting at a further downward angle at the -3 degree tilt. This image here shows you some possible speaker configurations. So we can begin with the mid-high at the top and the two low-frequency cabinets. And again, this is all based on the coverage patterns that you need to achieve on your installation. The second one shows you the mid-high and one low. We can always have just one mid-high if we're just looking for the speech band frequencies. And again, then we've got a low cabinet at the top and a mid-high at the bottom. And the opposite of where we started with two low-frequency cabinets and the mid-high at the bottom. Again, low frequencies tend to cover the entire area. So the important thing is to determine where you need your speech or your mid and high frequency coverage, and that will determine your speaker combination. Next, we're going to look at some amplifier configurations. So the SR-MF1 can be bi-amped as well. Here we see a single amplifier powering the SR-MF1. You can see on your right-hand side that the unit comes with Phoenix connectors, so the amplifier just gets connected to the negative and positive, and you're achieving your power on your speaker. On the next image, this slide, we're actually showing one single amplifier powering both the mid-high box and the low-frequency box. Again, because there's a pass-through on the Phoenix connector, you can go directly from one speaker to the next and don't have to run two separate cables to the units. On this slide, we see the bi-amped option. So we have the one amplifier powering the mid-high box and a separate amplifier powering the low-frequency box. Possible applications for the steerable line array, mechanically steerable line array from TOA are endless. Here I'm just listing some of the examples. So, for example, houses of worship, auditoriums, airports, railway stations, where it's important that you get the right intelligibility and also where you're limited to where you can install the actual speaker. TOA also manufactures an active steerable line array. In some cases, you need to continuously change the dispersion of your speaker. It's not a fixed installation where the dispersion does not need to be changed on an ongoing basis. So TOA actually manufactures an active steerable line array, which is the SR-D8. Some of the features that are built into the SR-D8 is the speaker actually has a built-in speaker processing controller, which is controlled, programmed through a GUI software. There's a built-in auto mixer on the speaker as well, and the speaker is self-amplified. The speaker contains 8 30-watt Class D amplifiers, and each one is driving a 4-inch driver and a 1-inch tweeter. Each module can be driven with individual delays. The angle and the width of the sound can be controlled electronically and switched immediately, very quickly. And the beam width can be adjusted up to 45 degrees. TOA also manufactures other line array speakers, such as the SR-H and the SR-S. Unlike the mechanically or active steerable line array, the dispersion angle on these speakers needs to be adjusted by moving them away or closer to the wall. That is why there are many optional mounting brackets available for these speakers. On this slide, we're showing some other new TOA products that have been launched recently. The first is our AM-1 Steerable Array microphone, where the pickup pattern of the speaker is adjustable on the horizontal plane and also on the distance. The unit is active, so it actually tracks the individual speaking into the microphone. Our next new product is the NM-01S, which is our noise masking module. And finally, we've introduced the SP-11N SIP module that allows you to do paging from any IP phone switch. Before introducing this module, if you had an IP phone switch, you either needed to get an analog card on your phone switch, or you had to get an interface unit that converted it from IP to analog. With the SP-11N, all you need to do is ask for an extension off of the phone switch. You can plug it right into this module and begin paging right off of our amplifiers. So these two modules fit any of our amplifiers or the M9000M2 that have module input base. What is the advantage to purchasing TOA products? TOA is a world leader in commercial and professional audio products. We offer a broad range of products that go into all types of installations, anywhere from arenas, boardrooms, casinos, schools, auditoriums, restaurants, retail outlets, houses of worship, and on and on. Basically anywhere that audio is required. We're also proud to say that we have the best mean time before failure rate in the industry. We stock products centrally here in Canada, and most of our products carry a 5-year limited warranty. TOA also offers technical support. We have a technical department here in Mississauga, Ontario that is available to you to help you design and engineer any audio systems. They will do free CAD and ease analysis for systems, which will allow you to make presentations to your end users and impress them with the documents. As well, if required, we will train your technicians on how to properly install and program all TOA equipment. I'd like to thank you for attending this month's webinar. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact